Here's something that most businesses just don't understand. Marketing doesn't stop once you have captured a lead. That lead, especially in this day and age, it's very unlikely for the vast majority of you that are watching this because of the types of businesses that you run and operate. It's very unlikely that they'll actually close as quick as you would like them to close in an ideal world. There's a lot of trust that needs to be built. That person needs to see that you are most certainly the right choice for them to go with moving forward opposed to your competitors. Now, that's where your marketing still comes into play. So, even just for a very simple household name product that everyone in the world knows, Coca Cola, if Coca Cola managed to do a load of marketing and they get you to walk into a store or a restaurant and to buy a Coke, that doesn't mean that their job is over. They essentially want you to have a bigger LTV, lifetime value. So even though your average order value might be whatever it is, a buck 50, $2, whatever it is for Coca-Cola these days, in a restaurant or a store, whatever it might be, they actually want you to continuously keep ordering that over time. And the reason they do that is from a marketing perspective. And again, this can be with huge things because I know some of you are already saying, but Paul, that doesn't really make sense in regards to bigger ticket items or services. So, excuse me. So let's talk about bigger ticket items. Let's say it's a car, for example, okay? If you go out and buy a car, because again, the marketing has happened, whether you saw billboards or YouTube reviews of the car or advertisements on TV, or you heard about it from someone else who's bought that particular type of car, whatever it might be. So in that case, it's a referral. You go and you buy that car, and that particular company, even though that's a much bigger ticket item than the likes of a Coca-Cola, they will want you to, when you're upgrading your car, because not everyone is going to upgrade their car at some stage, okay? It's very, very unlikely that somebody buys a car when they're 16, 17, and they keep it until they're 90 years old, okay? People change cars all the time, okay? Like I don't know, probably 5 years on average, I'd imagine people change cars, okay? Now, again, for some people it's every year, for some people it's every 8 years, so on and so forth. It doesn't really matter, okay? The point is, people change cars all the time. But the company that you bought that car for, even if it's a second hand car, okay? Let's say you bought, and I'm just picking a random name out of my out of the out of my head here. You're just picking a completely random car, and I'm going to say it's a Hyundai, okay, or Hyundai, whatever way you pronounce that particular model. So Hyundai, even if you bought new or second hand or whatever it may be, they will want to make sure that you get a good experience with that particular car, that particular brand, and that when you move on to the next one, that means that you also stick with them as well, okay? Because when you stick with them, it's not just a case of that you're buying that higher ticket item, but you're sticking with them. Like, if from a servicing perspective, of course, you can go to loads of different people who are not Hyundai or Hyundai dealers specifically, or you could go to Hyundai who, again, like there's a lot of marketing behind the case of, oh, because we know the cars inside out, and because we are the brand, we're able to get you the parts cheaper and whatever it might be at all, okay? And our parts last longer, all that sort of stuff, okay? But again, that's from a kind of a higher ticket product, okay? Now let's look at it from a service perspective as well, okay? So even from a service perspective, let's say that you offer, I don't know, marketing services, for example, okay? Well, that means that that particular person, you will have to market yourself to them, whether it's outbound, inbound, paid methods, whatever it might be, through content, it doesn't matter, okay? But when that person eventually raises their hand and says, yes, I'm interested, I'd like to know more on how you can help me, that doesn't mean that even if they booked in like a sales call, for example, that doesn't mean that they are ready to convert and that they're going to close. Okay, for the vast majority of businesses, they're probably not going to close, and the reason why is because there's just not enough trust there. But that's where marketing still needs to keep working in the background. Okay, so when that person does put their hand up, you need to be able to, before let's say for example that they've booked a sales call with you on your website. Okay, from whatever it is that you had content out there, you had whatever, that person needs to constantly, before that sales call happens, be fed more trust signals of why they should go with you, and they shouldn't even be speaking to competitors because there's literally no choice other than going with you to go forward. And to go with a competitor would just be absolutely silly. But you have to kind of pre-frame all that sort of stuff to them before the call. So the marketing still needs to continuously keep happening over time. So as an example, if somebody has booked a call, let's say that when they book a call, they go to a page on your website that says /thank you. So if someone lands on that page of /thank you, well, first of all, you have their email, so you can follow up with them with your certificates, your awards, your previous results, your past clients, your testimonials, your all this sort of stuff that just feeds trust to them to say that you are the right people going forward. But also you can retarget all that sort of stuff as well because they've landed on that specific URL of your website. So it doesn't matter where they are throughout the internet, they'll be able to actually get those kind of retargeting ads from you. So again, there's more trust signals. So that when they, even if they don't know how retargeting works, okay, which most people don't, to be fair, if you're a marketer or a business owner, you might know and you understand that because you're like part of that particular ecosystem. But for a lot of businesses, their customers and clients don't have a clue how this stuff works. So what happens in their head instead, in the head of the client, before the sales call is, oh yeah, I've seen you guys everywhere. I saw you pop up on Google. Because again, retargeting ads. I was on this particular news website, and you guys even popped up there because again, we know how Google AdWords and all that sort of stuff works, or Google Ads as it's just called these days. We know how all that sort of stuff works. Or even if they say, oh yeah, and we're scrolling social media and I saw you guys again, you guys are everywhere. So therefore, you must be great. Okay. That's kind of what goes on in their head. So the marketing never stops. Even if that particular person does convert, again, they still need to be not only shown the delivery side of things of what you can do. And obviously, if you can go above and beyond expectations, of course, that's even better. But that also then proves to them that they should recommend you to people as well. So then you have referrals from that person. So that means that your cost per acquisition goes down as well. There's so many benefits to continuously marketing to somebody, even when they're in your pipeline. And this is where so many businesses are seeing a halt. They're getting stuck with this because they're just trying to get more leads, more leads, more leads. Whereas if you just focus on the leads that you already have by again marketing to them, it's much easier to close them then at that particular stage when they are on either a sales call or they see an offer doc or whatever way it is that you convert particular clients as well. Okay. So the marketing just never ends and you have to understand that and you have to keep using it going forward. And once you have this all systematized, by the way, this can all be automated. This is super, super easy to automate. So everything I've gone through there is kind of the framework. It is very easy to automate that sort of stuff, to put people into custom audiences for automatic retargeting as well. And bear in mind, the people who see those retargeting ads, your cost like on the ads will go down as well because you're not just putting out a wide net to people who potentially could become a client to you. If you're using a retargeting audience or even uploading a custom audience to retarget to, then that means that the only people who are going to see that are people who already know who you are and have already like had enough trust with you to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested, I'd like to have a conversation or I'd like to learn more. Again, whatever way you convert people on your site or whatever it may be. So your cost goes down there to essentially increase your sales conversion. Like this, if like so many businesses don't know this because they just don't know that it's a thing. They don't know how it works. They just gonna have this idea in their head of like, let's just get more leads. And if we get more leads, some of them will convert. And yes, that works. But you could convert a lot more if you did all this sort of stuff in the background as well. And again, you can automate this as well. So look, hopefully you got some value from that. If it is something that you want to figure out, how do I systematize this and how do I do all this sort of stuff, you can check out the first link in the description.